best friends, Hunter Biden and the swamp. The Attorney General's not going to let anything happen to the Prince of the Beltway, Hunter Biden, and the Biden family. Oh, perfectly taken care of. A little slap on the wrist, no big deal. However, there's a bureau called the IRS, and they ain't friends with nobody. We are hearing some amazing things from the whistleblowers, investigators for the IRS who have stepped forward with some shocking, unbelievably important stuff being ignored. However, it's making history. Now, in July of 2017, they uncovered some remarkable communications between Hunter Biden and a man in China by the name of Zhao, Henry Zhao, member of the CCP, director of the Harvest Fund, and quite frankly, we don't know too much more about him other than that. But looks like he had a hell of an argument with Hunter, who was sitting right next to his dad, Joe Biden, when these text messages were exchanged. Are you ready? They're pretty intense. From Hunter Biden to Mr. Zhao. I am sitting here with my father and would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand. And now means tonight, like a collection agency. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I don't know who all these characters are, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father. Wow. And it sounds a lot like the Bidens, doesn't it? He's very, very close to his father. We've heard that a million times. I mean, who goes down to the photo studio at Sears to take a picture like this or a picture like this? I can easily see them sitting on a couch texting some guy in China demanding money. Can't you? After all, the vice president of the United States brought his son Hunter to China in the most inappropriate, probably illegal display of muscle ever shown. And then they met with Chinese officials in a hotel, Chinese officials that Hunter was doing business with. So the House Ways and Means Committee, I mean, thank goodness the Republicans are in charge of at least the House. They're getting all this information. The whistleblowers have come to them, as is their legal right. And, well, this is the House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith of Missouri.
The IRS recommended charges against Hunter Biden that included attempt to evade or defeat tax, a felony, fraud or false statements, a felony, and willful failure to file returns, supply information, or pay tax. These tax crimes cover an estimated $2.2 million in unreported tax on global income streams to Mr. Biden and his associates from Ukraine, Romania, and China, totaling $17.3 million from 2014 to 2019. Mr. Biden personally received $8.3 million.
So if Jason Smith's name were Adam Schiff, this would be the most famous press conference in the world right now. But he's a Republican, and it's about the Biden, so it's being minimized, but it is so important. This is smoking gun evidence. Next.
IRS investigators were told by U.S. Attorney Leslie Wolf that because the evidence would be found in the guest house of former Vice President Biden, quote, there is no way, close quotes, a search warrant for evidence would ever get approved.
Yeah, you got to be a Trump for the feds to search your house. Wow. All right. The U.S. attorney who brokered this sweetheart deal with Hunter Biden, well, he may have wanted a lot more than these minor charges, misdemeanor charges. Listen to this.
Testimony shows that U.S. Attorney of Delaware David Weiss tried to bring charges in the District of Columbia around March of 2022 and was denied. Weiss sought special counsel status from the DOJ in the spring of 2022 and was once again denied. Weiss sought to bring charges in the Central District of California in the fall of 2022 and had that request denied in January of 2023.
How about that? I had no idea that the U.S. attorney was seeking these charges. Did you? And why wasn't he able to do this? They were denying him. Justice was denying him. Department of Justice. This is exactly what Attorney General Garland specifically promised he would not do.
The U.S. Attorney in Delaware has been advised that he has full authority to make those kind of referrals that you're talking about, or to bring cases in other jurisdictions if he feels it's necessary. And I will assure that if he does, he will be able to do that.
Does the Delaware U.S. Attorney lack independent charging authority over certain criminal allegations against the president's son outside of the District of Delaware?
He would have to bring, if it's in another district, he would have to bring the case in another district. But as I said, I have promised to ensure that he's able to carry out his investigation and that he be able to run it. And if he needs to bring it in another jurisdiction, he will have full authority to do that.
I promise to ensure that he will have full authority to do that. I don't trust Garland. I think he's giving himself all kind of wiggle room. I actually think he's lying. Yeah, I do. And I believe these whistleblowers. You know, whistleblowers, whenever they happen to have something to say about a Democrat, they are, well, they have their lives ruined. But I believe this man.
There was multiple steps that were slow walked at the direction of the Department of Justice.
Had you ever encountered that before?
I have not, no. These deviations from normal process, and each and every time it seemed to always benefit the subject.
Shapley says he decided to blow the whistle after a heated meeting last October with federal prosecutors.
It was my red line meeting. It just got to that point where that switch was turned on, and I just couldn't silence my conscience anymore.
Top IRS tax investigator, and so he goes to Washington, he goes to Capitol Hill, and he tells them what he knows. More.
Why do you want to navigate these waters?
I don't want to do any of this. I took an oath of office, and when I saw the egregiousness of some of these things, it no longer became a choice for me. It's not something that I want to do. It's something that I feel like I have to do.
Well, good for him. And the testimony that he and another whistleblower gave, it's hundreds of pages long. Here are some important points, though, and we're still going through it. It was just released a few hours ago. Number one, this started not as an investigation of the Bidens or anything like that. It was what they called an offshoot of an investigation the IRS was conducting into a foreign-based amateur online pornography platform. And Hunter Biden's name apparently came up. Let's see. Bank reports identified Hunter Biden as paying prostitutes related to a potential prostitution ring. Also included in those bank reports was evidence that Hunter Biden was living lavishly through his corporate bank account. This is a typical thing that we look for in tax cases, criminal tax cases, I should say. So the important part here is it was flagged not because it was a Biden, it was flagged because it was suspicious activity. This is the kind of stuff that these investigators look for because it's often illegal. Next, please. I can recall wanting to interview and getting records from Hunter Biden's children and members of the Biden family. There were expenses paid for the children, as well as potential credit card expenditures and Venmo payments that were deducted on the tax return. Just remember, Hunter's children are adults now. They are. Hunter himself is like in his mid-50s. There's an assistant U.S. attorney, Leslie Wolf, told us, the investigator, it will get us into hot water if we interview the president's grandchildren. That was completely abnormal, out of the question. And it's a part of our normal process that we go and interview people, especially people who are receiving money or receiving payments related to a case like this. So we all made the decision on what we were going to move forward with. 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and it would be felony counts related to 2014 and felony counts related to 2018. However, they end up sending a non-concur, so a declination for all the tax years at hand. Management did not want them going for a felony charge, so they came up with this misdemeanor sweetheart deal. But wrongdoing will at least be acknowledged by Hunter, we believe, next month in court. And Joe Biden consistently has denied that his son did anything wrong. He's denied that anyone in his family has done anything wrong. It's interesting, the House Oversight Committee seems to have documentation that millions of dollars came to the Bidens from China. Now, you have to remember this. They're actually acknowledging, Hunter Biden's lawyers are acknowledging, yes, they got money from China. First, they said, no, we never did any business in China. Then they said we did business in China, but we lost money. And then they finally said, yes, this was good faith seed money that we were entitled to for work that we did. It's catching up to them. They believe that money was funneled to various Biden family members, right? Nicely laundered, perhaps. Look, I just have this sense, this overwhelming sense, having watched Joe Biden for the past 30 or so years myself, ever since he got busted lying in that 1987 campaign, that Joe has never been in it for public service. The Prince of Delaware, well, he became a prince. I mean, look at all the stuff he has. Look at all this stuff. You get this from public service on a government salary? And why is Hunter Biden showing up at the White House all of a sudden? You know, he was under wraps for the entire campaign. And here he is, working the room. There he was, going to Ireland and being acknowledged by the president. Stand up, Hunter, stand up. Or relaxing on the beach with his brother's wife. This is not over. It's going to get bigger, a lot bigger. And they only have themselves to blame, in my opinion. Next.
This morning, an ROV, or remote operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber.
Terrible. We were hoping and praying it wouldn't turn out this way. You know, it's interesting. The admiral there did not call it a submarine or a submersible, just a pressure chamber. And apparently that's all it was. I mean, this thing had no business being in the water, from everything we've heard, from everything we've learned. Take a look at this video. Didn't impress too many people. Is this any way to secure a vehicle that's going 12,000 feet underwater? You know, screwdrivers. It looks very, very conventional. Anyway, look, I wish Stockton Rush and his friends and customers made it out, but he said some pretty puzzling things, and this is one of them.
I'd like to be remembered as an innovator. I think it was General MacArthur said, "You're remembered for the rules you break." And, you know, I've broken some rules to make this. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me. The carbon fiber and titanium, there's a rule you don't do that. Well, I did. It's picking the rules that you break that are the ones that will add value to others and add value to society.
Sometimes. I think that was a motto for MacArthur. I don't know if it was, no. Sometimes rules were there for a reason, right? And then he talked about the window. This was utterly bizarre, and I wish the people who got on this thing first saw it. Maybe they did, but it would give me pause. Wouldn't it give you?
What's the material of it?
It's acrylic, plexiglass.
Wow.
Yeah, and it is 7 inches thick. Big. Weighs about 80 pounds. And when we go to the Titanic, it will squeeze in about 3/4 of an inch. It just deforms. And acrylic's great because it squeezes in, and before it cracks or fails, it starts to crackle. And so you get huge warning if it's going to fail.
Man, I'm sorry. This guy was out to lunch. I'm so sorry he came to this. They are gone forever. May God have mercy on their souls, and we're praying and wishing the best for the families. This has got to be a horrible, horrible time. It is a horrible, horrible time. The Navy may have heard about the implosion within hours, even minutes of the actual event. They have listening devices, and they forwarded the information they had. They actually heard what sounded like an implosion at the same time, and they gave it right to the Coast Guard right away. Unclear what they did with that information, but a lot of us really thought that this thing could end differently than it did. Maybe if we had that information sooner. Hopes would not have been raised. We'll see if we learn more about that. I'll be right back.